Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Vending. This is now the third time I've started this. But today what I want to do is I want to go back and just clean up 3 or 4 things that are just hanging around. I'm going to circle back and do a video on at least one of these, and when I get there you'll know which one. But there's some things hanging around that don't really deserve their own show, but things that are kind of important. The first one I want to talk about is a chart that I made. Now, we know, if you've been following my videos about credit cards, we know that the difference between the time you pay your statement off and the time they report to the credit bureau, anything that you charge is on there. And with the new program that I'm going through that I started, there was quite a bit on there, so my credit rating dropped. So, and I need to remember which account I did what with. So I designed this. I'm going to give you a quick look at it. I know you can't read it, but if there's a closing date, there's a reporting date, the bank, the address, the phone number, and then off to the far left, I called and did this with one of them, and I found out that I have choices. I can pay partial, I can give a dollar amount, or I can pay the whole thing. Now, because of the time of the month that I get paid, I can't have it all paid the day before. So, but what I'm going to do this week is one of them I'm going to have the minimum taken off, and then all the other ones I'm going to have them paid in full the day before. That way, the only one that should be showing next month as having any balance is my double cash back. And maybe once I get some money built up in my checking account, I can make that one whole also. We'll see. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you so to give you an idea on how important that is to have those numbers down to 0 on reporting day. Okay, the next one, Vinstar 3000. OMG. I did one video and I showed you I bought a bunch of Vinstar 3000s and I had to go through and reset the wheels. All of them were off. And oh, wow, what a nightmare. I'm used to dealing with metal machines, high quality machines, okay? As we have discussed in the past. These Vinstars, not only are they plastic, okay, which is worrisome because, just as an example, when you're putting the wheel back in from the bottom, there's one point where you're sliding it in and you actually have to hold the canister and hit it with your fist to pop it back in. It's plastic, all right? So one of these days I know I'm going to break one of them, but anyway. But every little centimeter, there was one point, again, where I was putting the wheel back in the bottom, I kept getting it in there, but it wouldn't go down. I couldn't get it to, it looked like it was together, but I couldn't get it to go down into the base of the machine. And I mean, I spent forever trying to figure that out. And I took it apart, and there was one little groove where the part that sits in the machine had to fit exactly over the side. Unbelievable. These things are a nightmare. And the first one that I tore apart was missing 2 of the front doors. And I thought, well, those ought to be easy. I'll just snap right in there. I took that bad boy apart. I never did figure out how to change those doors. So, anyway, I finally got the wheels reset, recalibrated, put back together, and it took me 2 days to do the first machine. So, my advice, now that I'm stuck with 16 of them, I should have bought one and worked on it before I bought a massive amount, but I bought a massive amount for a purpose, and hopefully they will serve my purpose. But my advice to you is use them only in desperation and only if you have to, not by choice. Also, another thing I wanted to bring you up to speed on is I told you about our experiment with the 50-cent gumballs, and I told you I was going to buy another machine. I did. And it should be here sometime this week. And I have already decided, I think, where I'm going to put it. I have a restaurant, and it was my first restaurant, my first account placement, actually. And it gets a little traffic, not much, and I've already decided I'm going to keep that, and I don't care if it just sits there and earns me nothing. But it's been about a year. It's time to swap it out, clean out the candy, wipe out the machine. So, and there's no other machines in there. I'm the only one there. So I decided that would be a good time and a good opportunity. So I'm going to swap machines, tell them I'm giving them something new, something different, which is all true. And then we'll see how it does. And if it does well, then great. If it doesn't, I can always pull it and put back in another candy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to switch them all over. But I am going to look for opportunities. And when I find one, I am going to order a machine. And, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a time or two where I'll fall flat on my face and I'll be stuck with a machine with no wheel. But if you remember, the last time I ordered one of these machines, they did not send me one set up for gumballs. They sent me a machine set up for candy and threw in the gumball wheel. Well, because of that, I now have a candy wheel in spare, so if I can't find a place for this machine, I can switch it over to candy and we'll be done. Now, the last thing, the fun thing. I can't believe I'm going to spend money on this thing. Lion Card, the steel and metal credit card company. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it $300, okay? But the reason I am doing it is not for bling. I don't care about bling. But I think it's cool, and I'm going to have P.B.M. put on the side of it for advertising when I do use it. I'm going to use it for sure. It's free advertising. Well, $300 worth of advertising. And it's going to be on my American Express card. I mean, the chip will be from my American Express, which is going to be one of my 3 big dogs for the next 12 months. So my plan is this. I'm going to get the card, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to save my old American Express card, and I don't know, it's due in 2025, I think, 2024. Whenever it's no good anymore, I'm going to design like a shadow box, and I'm going to put on display the Lion card, the chip that comes with it, and the American Express card as a memento of the year or however many videos we end up doing of credit and how our ministry benefited from that. And that will be our memento. So if I never do it again, and I probably won't because I never ever spend money foolishly, or try not to anyway. But that will be our memento for our ministry. We'll have a nice display, and for as long as I'm alive, assuming I live that long, till 2025, if I'm still alive, then we will do that, and that will be our memento for Prayer Box Ministry, which I think is a good idea. I mean, I'm going to get 4 or 5 years utilization out of it. I'm going to get free advertising out of it. I'm going to get a solid gold, a gold laminated steel card, 24 karat gold. And then when it's all said and done, I'm going to get a permanent memento for our ministry. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's why I spent the 300 bucks. And I told him I was going to put them in the video. I'm not going to make any money on it, but go over and check them out. It's Lion Card. Well, those are the things I wanted to clean up. You guys have a happy 4th of July. And I just want to put a plug in here for our military. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all that you do. And for the regular Joes, remember that Americans, men and women, have died and suffered and fought for this country. Not for you to be healthy, wealthy, and safe, you COVID-fearing pansies, but for you to be free. Giving up your freedom to the state or to the government, giving up your freedom so that you can be safe and healthy, dumbest choice you ever made, and it slaps the face of everyone that has fought and died for this country. Remember that. We have a great 4th of July. Happy vending.